Hello everyone, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here for the lovely Libra Collective, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement, though everyone is welcome. We're going to get into the energies of the week ahead for July 13th to the 19th, 2026. Dates are approximate. This is going to be a general reading. We'll use tarot cards, oracle cards. I'll share channeled messages. I may even use my crystal ball. We'll see how we can stay high vibing for the week. See the general themes, things coming up, if there's anything in our way, and how to make the most out of the good parts of what's coming ahead this week. So, or all of the parts, really. How do we make the most of the energy? How do we work with it and make it work for us? All right, first card out, Sea Sponge. This is energetic absorption here. Very empathic kind of energy. I know many of you out there are indeed empaths. So you could find this reading resonates for any area of your life, career, love, money, personal empowerment, relationships, all that stuff. So with energetic absorption, this gives me Cancerian vibes. And I'm glad this came up, actually. It's Cancer season, right? So happy birthday to all the Cancerian suns out there. But we have a new moon in Cancer this week in just a couple of days, and it's going to be intense, right? I mean, the moons always are, right? I mean, it feels like they have been lately. There's just a lot of, changes in the astrology and things that have been going on, though I'm not an astrologer, but I do touch on it briefly. So your next reading is going to be all about that new moon. So I won't get into it a ton here, but we'll keep this one more general. Okay. What else do we have for Libra? I do feel you're probably already feeling those energies of that new moon. All right, we have Portuguese Man o' War. This is about collaboration and teamwork. Okay. And also collaboration and teamwork. I wanted to use this deck. It's nice and summery, gives me Cancerian vibes here. Octopus, keep to yourself, be discreet. Yeah, I am getting a lot of you. I've been getting this for a while. You want to keep your whatever you're working on to yourself. It's better to just announce when something's completed, or when you're actually, like, say you've applied to jobs, just announce when you actually get it or have an interview or something, rather than telling people and letting their energy kind of seep into whatever it is you're doing. Seems to be very important, especially because you are indeed more like absorbing energy, kind of like this sea sponge. What else do we have? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Do only take what resonates. Read the description there, the disclaimer. You have free will, final say. Your intuition knows best. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And you have Pelican. And upside down here, we have Manatee. So now's your chance. Act quickly. It's paired with the Manatee, which is forgiveness, surrendering, and release. All right. See what all this means. I do want to get a tarot token, though. I like to always do that just to see what kind of major arcana energy we have coming into the week. Now, funny enough, this just fell on the floor, and it's the cat. It's a little cat here. Yeah, that fell on the floor, which is, it really wasn't even supposed to be out, so I'm not sure why it's there. So there's cat. Some of you may be feeling as though you want to withdraw, or actually, I mean, it can have a lot to do with being flexible, with independence, moving swiftly. Yeah, so, all right. So for Libra, oh my goodness, Libra, it's the Wheel of Fortune again. If you follow me, you know that we've been getting this a lot. You just had it very recently. So there's the Wheel of Fortune coming in again. So we're still in this energy of making our own luck, of ending cycles, starting anew, even for some of us. This is about good fortune here, abundance returning to you or finding you for the very first time in a wonderful way, in the most wonderful ways. All right. So let's see for Libra. Jumping for joy. This week does feel big, okay? I'm getting spotlight vibes here. I'm getting purposeful change or very meaningful pivot in some way. I just get, Libra, that a lot of you are going to be asking yourself, is what I'm doing worth it? Like, what will this cost me in the long run? I feel like you're kind of making decisions based on those questions. That seems like kind of at the forefront right now. What do we have here? This is the Dark Mansion Tarot. All right, what do we have, please? Decks I use are down below usually, so Libra, tell us more. We're going to get another Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. I'm also getting like 22, 222, that kind of thing, those numbers. All right, Three of Pentacles here. Three of Pentacles. I know, it shows people working together on this card, but because some of you really are the sea sponge here, kind of in that energy, it feels like it could be, just a lot to be working with different people right now, different personalities. Your very next card is teamwork. So we're going to be getting into what that means. Relationships seem to be kind of taking center stage. It did feel like when I did your July reading, what came up was you could be dealing with someone moody, or you yourself are trying to stay kind of emotionally regulated, maybe. And it's also just a lot of things like feelings and relationships are coming to the surface. I even brought out my Faith Over Feelings deck here because it feels like this is just going to be needed. So relationships, taking forefront. What do we have here? I mean, it is a big part of being a Libra, the partnerships and relationships. Partnerships was all over your July money reading, though, that I did on 7/7. You could be just a whole new way of being or becoming or shining, or beaming was the word. It was a whole new way of beaming. Let's see does this have anything to do with working with people? Oh my gosh, there's that Wheel of Fortune again. You just keep getting the Wheel of Fortune. So now you have 10/10 already in your reading. That's telling me you're ready for this whole new path. You're ready for this, again, this whole new way of beaming, right? We just said that. Whole new way of beaming. As corny as it may sound, seems to be accurate here. It's a time where you could be making a change within your career. You may be waiting on some news. I'm going to tell you, it looks pretty good. If you're waiting on some news, you're fitting well into groups. That looks favorable. If you want to be in the groups, okay? Yeah, changes are definitely coming though, because here's the thing. If you are, say you're getting a chance for a whole new path, it does feel like it's going to at least somewhat influence another area of your life. There's no way to really separate that. And so that could be something you're having to navigate, which could be a little bit, emotional, perhaps, a little bit challenging for some. Okay, that could be something that you're having to navigate. And, not everyone's going to get their way 100% when it comes to like group dynamics. And it's like you being okay with that. I know that we like to try to avoid conflict, and it's like kind of one of our common traits, and these are just generalizations. All of it is, right? But it's like, at what, again, ask yourself that question, my friends. What will this cost me long term? Like, to just strive to keep the peace. Are you feeling peaceful inside? Is it exhausting you? Is it draining you? So these are kind of the questions to be thinking about, Libra. All right. That's like your whole new outlook there, the Wheel of Fortune. Like, you're like, I'm going to turn, my brilliance inward because I've been maybe putting too much into other people and it's not, reciprocated, that sort of thing. Under Octopus, keeping yourself, discreet. You have strength. All right. It might be hard to keep something private, to keep it quiet, October 8th is coming in, October 3rd as well. I'm actually getting something about news of a baby, or like something you're really trying to grow. Okay. Something very near and dear to you. So yeah, having the strength and the self-control of that strength card to keep something private. All right. Keep something kind of under wraps for now. Okay. But keep your intentions and your energy, your focus positive. Okay. At this time. Focusing on where you want to go, where you want to be, right? You've got that Wheel of Fortune on your side here. So like fate, lining up to help you overcome something too, winds of change here. All right. So with Pelican and Manatee, so acting now and surrendering release. We have transformation here. Look at that Death card coming in. You now have 3 major arcana cards out of 4 cards. So whatever this is major. This is very, very big. Okay. This is about something, you could be going through a very spiritual transformation. Again, really kind of questioning your life purpose, questioning everything this week, especially with that new moon energy. It feels like a lot of you are shifting gears in career. as well as just getting attention in general. So embracing the transformation, embracing the change, because you never know what you'll discover or where the path will take you. Because a lot of you are just, you're done with what you've been doing. You may find that you're going to be emotionally revisiting something. Monday in particular could feel, or the energy surrounding Monday could feel kind of moody. All right, not going to lie. We do have Mercury still in retrograde. So yeah, you may be, again, like kind of emotionally revisiting something with this new moon in Cancer, very emotional kind of energy there. And then the of retrograde. So anyway, but I will say too, July 20th does feel big. It feels magical. There's spotlight vibes here. Okay. With the new moon on Tuesday though, and it's not like, oh, the new moon happens and you just feel that energy that day and that's it. We're already in that feeling of the new moon in Cancer, right? And then we're going to be feeling it for probably a couple weeks after too. And then even more so because we have that eclipse season, but we'll get into that another time. So, but your role could change. Partnerships are all over the place here. Okay. With this new moon, there's like, again, a whole new way of being. You could be clearing the air. If something feels heavy, it's like with this death card, you're cutting it loose. You're transforming this energy completely, and you're aligning to what truly makes you happy. That's part of that surrender and release. Let's get a card. So you may need to act quickly and really change something quickly. Like you might need to, accept that offer, accept the invitation, move, end something. It's all over this reading. And you have the King of Cups. Okay, King of Cups coming in here. And that's what's clarifying the surrender and release, okay, which is following that transformation card. So, with the King of Cups, this is someone who's very intuitive, very insightful. They don't get pushed around, knocked around by the waves of emotion, so to speak, around them, right? This is somebody who may be surrounded by, see the lines there, rough water, right? They may be surrounded by it, but they remain grounded. They're cool, calm, collected, right? They're on top of what they need to be on top of. They're emotionally stable, right? Very mature energy. You could also be seeking the advice of a counselor, someone who's also just more knowledgeable with spirituality too. That could be part of this. If it has to do with money, though, this looks pretty good. This is like someone that you could be learning from at work, or maybe you're that person, because I was getting some of you are going to be switching into new roles. All right. New roles. So again, aligning to what makes you truly happy. That is exactly what a King of Cups would do. But July overall, including this week, is an extremely empowering time for you. Okay. There's evolution, there's strengthening, there's new remedy, there's a resolution coming in, some sort of issue resolved. Maybe some of you have been looking for ways to kind of step it up or have a new start regarding home, security, money, even resources in general. But again, always keeping that question, is it really worth it? What will this cost me, or how will this benefit me long term? What else, please? I kind of would like to get, before we get into tarot, I would like to get some Lenormand cards. This is a Lenormand oracle. It's an expanded, so it has cards that typical Lenormand decks do not. One of you out there asked if I ever use Lenormand cards, and I do sometimes. I don't think I've really used them on the channel. I sometimes will use them privately, but I feel like I could be bringing those in more. What's this? This is in here and it shouldn't be. Again, there's something here. We had this cat charm, not where it was supposed to be. We have something here. So it's okay not to have all the answers. They'll come to you when you need them. The thing is sometimes like with this card, it maybe doesn't belong in the mix, but so you could have something come onto your path this week and you're like, I don't really know how to take that. But it's kind of like it needs to be there. It needs to be acknowledged. Just that you're not necessarily going to have all the answers right now, but but you'll get things as you go. So there's that same kind of message we get a lot where just get started, All right. So, okay. We have clouds here. So you could be feeling, not the most positive or not clear about something. There's doubt here. There's hesitation, card 6. This is connecting to the planet Neptune, which I believe is air in Aries, which would be the opposite of us, Libra. So there could be, yeah, doubt, confusion, hesitation, things feeling unclear. There could be doubts regarding, working with a group, or, yeah, just how to manage different energies. So some sort of like undercurrent of, unfortunately, like confusion or negativity, or, again, I'm getting kind of this moody sort of energy. What else do we have for the week ahead? Libra. We have Rider, card 1. So this can have to do with a visitor in some way, all right? A visitor, or it can actually be taking action. So you may be taking action regarding some sort of collaboration or just movement in general. There's new info here. It's connecting to the planet Mercury. All right, what else do we have? Please tell us about the strength. Be discreet, keep it to yourself. We have Garden, card 20. So networking. So really only trusting networking with those who you really know about, because this is totally connecting to like needing, having the strength and power to keep something to yourself. You may need to play the field. All right. You could be having meetings. You don't have to tell them your life story, right? If, say, it's an interview or a date or something, save some of it for later. You don't have to tell them all. Let them just, especially if it's an interview, like you don't have to divulge more than asked. But some of you may have a habit of doing that, especially when you're nervous. You might just chatter, talk. I know myself, I can do that sometimes. And sometimes less is more. Okay, that's what's coming in on that. It is connecting to Libra energy, this Garden card. So the planet of Venus here. What else do we have? Please tell us more. There's going to be room to grow and room to share later down the road with something. Card 36, this is about having patience. It's connecting to the energy of Pluto. And that's interesting because that's what's clarifying the death and transformation card, is the planet of, transformation and death and destruction and all that. But it's rebirth too. So this is about obstacles, possibly some sort of, having a cross to bear, so to speak, with this cross card. And having and connecting it to like trials and tribulations, right? So this is why things need to change. This is why you may be tempted to say, hey, now's my chance. I'm going to act on it, because you've been dealing with the sorrow and the maybe even regrets, Tell us about Manatee. It's Tunnel, card 41. Card 41. This is about divine timing here, connecting to the planet of Saturn. I believe that's also in Aries right now, so something to know. Journeying through the depths of emotions. Again, you may need to revisit something that's been emotional. Okay, I'm not going to lie, these cards are not great, as far as like the energy that comes to the forefront. It tells me that there's a mix here this week. It's like a whole mixed bag here of energy. It feels big though. It feels very transformative. So it's nothing obviously to shy away from. It's something that, we just may need to be embracing the big shifts, the changes, because again, you never know where this could lead you. It may not always feel or seem like, what do I say, rainbows, kittens, sunshine, butterflies, whatever, cupcakes. But because that's because, things changing. And when you're decluttering, whether it's on an emotional level or physical level, it can be tiresome, right? It's like it's work. But after you clear the air and release yourself from that, what's like whatever's heavy, it's like this really very empowering evolution. It's like you're under, construction basically. And it can lead to a lot of new security as far as things like resources, but also things like home and relationship security. So things kind of all feed into each other. Let's see, is that a little better? All right, there we go. If you enjoy this reading, please like the video, hype, subscribe. Hi, thanks, appreciate it. All right, Libra. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So we're getting this energy again with that Three of Pentacles, like, hey, things are unclear. You're not, if you're doubting something, hesitating, it's like just what they say, like keep your nose down and get to work. That could be some of the energy that you're in right now, right? Just really trying to perfect something. This is like showing that they're focusing on the task at hand. And that is what some of you may be doing, or you could be learning new skills even. Okay, that is a card of that too. It feels like yeah, just like working hard. This could be a new path to learning as well, or you're just maybe, because it is a card of sort of an apprenticeship more so than like an expert. So maybe you're even getting back on track. I feel that with the Wheel of Fortune here. But it's like you're going to be ready to go quicker than you realize, because you're developing these skills quicker than you may realize. We have the devil here coming in. Yeah, we all have that energy. Excuse me, pardon me. Sometimes, right? We have that like limitations, shadow kind of energy. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That is part of this, with tunnel and clouds and all that, and bearing across, and yeah, it seems like there is that doubt. It could be unhealthy relationships, that could be affecting finances, for example. You're going to want to watch temptation and overspending. Okay. You're going to want to free yourself from whatever makes you feel not good enough too. Anyone that's making you feel not good enough this week, out the door, right? This is about going through some sort of dark, what is it? Dark night of the soul or whatever. You could be doing a lot of shadow work here. Okay, but you're being guided through that. All right, you've got the strength at the very center here, and you have two Wheel of Fortune. So things are changing for you in a positive way. But is it necessarily easy? No. Look at this, though. Your ships are coming in here with the Three of Wands. Look at you, Libra. Look at you glow. All right. Pack your bags, right? It says take action is your very next thing here. But you may want to move in silence. Okay, this week. You may want to move in silence this week. I really actually recommend that. You may not want to share any good news yet if it's, if it's not totally mature yet, an idea, or if an offer is not actually yours yet, maybe keep it quiet till it is. That's just what keeps coming in. I'm going to report what I get. So this is about, taking those steps, or putting your plan into action. Okay. And not comparing yourself to others. Okay. Now, you don't have to compare yourself to other people. You don't need to blend. Well, some of you may want to, again, there's like this energy of like seeing what else is out there, exploring. Okay. So this is a card of exploration, of adventure, of opportunity, pardon me, of travel. All right. What else do we have for Libra? We have the Hanged Man. It is incredible how many major arcana cards you have, Libra. You have 9 out, in what? 1, 2, 3, 5 of them are major arcana. So there's the Hanged Man, as you can see. For some reason, they're wanting me to point out my guides anyway, the number 12. And so that could be pardon me, that could resonate for some of you. I need to mute myself here maybe for a minute if this is going to keep up. All right, so it could feel like you've been waiting forever for a certain opportunity. Again, you might be like, comparing yourself to others, or just putting extra undue pressure on yourself. Don't do that, okay? You need to take action when it comes your way, but it's got to feel right? You don't have to jump on every opportunity. You're not a cat with a fluffy toy. You don't have to pounce at every chance, right? Yeah, you may want to, great. But if you don't want to, it's like you don't have to, because it feels like, there's been uncertainty. Yeah, you may be feeling stuck or whatever, but it feels like a lot of you, it's because you needed to realign to something better, all right? Something better, something more brilliant too, Libra. Okay, what else do we have? Again, this can resonate for your abundance, career. We've talked a lot about money, career, fortune in this. It could be personal empowerment. It can also be relationships. Maybe you're getting out of something that has been very restrictive, very controlling. Maybe you've already exited that. What else do we have, please? And then you have the Hermit, another major arcana card. My goodness, Libra. Whew, maybe you have some strong Virgo in your chart, but this is someone who is remaining grounded. They're reflecting on things. They're exploring their inner wisdom, their spirituality, right? They're getting that clarity. Some of you may be feeling as though you need to just do some soul searching, right? Do some soul searching and get clear on what it is you want. This is a very reflective kind of energy, okay? This is about, yes, the path ahead may have been challenging, and there may be still continued challenges, but we're going to get into some things that could be blocking and how to overcome that. But the thing is, it's like you're never walking truly alone, Libra, even though you feel it. Not if you're a spiritual being, which we all are. If you're, if you're on watching this channel, you probably, are pretty spiritual. Yeah. So anyway, so this is about feeling maybe, not super social because you are going through something maybe that's big, that's emotional, but it doesn't mean you're going to stay there forever, right? And you have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. Nine of Pentacles. So I don't think a lot of you are seeing, because she kind of came out sideways at an angle. I don't think a lot of you are seeing the way out yet. And I also don't know that a lot of you feel like you can fit in with the crowd anymore, like at a regular 9 to 5. But that's not true according to these cards anyway. It's like you can if you want to. Libras, I mean, we're actually good at acting. We are. And sometimes people use that and say, oh, well, Libras are fake. Whatever you want to call it. But maybe we're just skilled thespians, right? Actors. All right. So this is about your joy, your prosperity, success. Okay. This is financial rewards, solo pleasures, doing things, with a group or on your own. I feel like because you have both, it's like if you do the work now and you collaborate and you really work hard, you'll have more independence and wow, you're going to have more stability overall. So that's fantastic. Remember, everything in life, it's a phase. The Wheel of Fortune keeps reminding us this is just a phase. Everything's a phase. Take the good with the bad, right? All right. Career could be really, really flourishing. Look at this. You have the Fool card. Brand new beginning for you in whatever it is you're trying to start. Career, even a relationship. Even if you want to change your look, change your appearance, there's the go ahead for this. That's the green light there. It's like remaining optimistic and hopeful. This is about the world is your oyster, so to speak. Okay. This is about really, if you've been, kind of looking, oh, should I switch it up? Whatever. Yeah. Again, you're releasing whatever that devil is there. And you've got the Fool card here. And this is like, yes, you're ready. Trust. You're going to figure it out as you go. That's a big message for this reading and for actually forever. How about that? I don't know if it's forever. All right. What else, please? We're going to wrap this up in a little bit. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady here. Yep. Put a plan in practice, but know that you only need to focus on the one step at a time. We've got the Three of Swords. This is that overcoming of the heartache. Okay. And some of you are like, you may be exiting a relationship quickly. I'm just going to tell you like I see it here. That could be that. And it could also be that you're cutting your losses in general with something and you're out. You've moved on. You're recovering. Okay, and we have the Nine of Wands here, really kind of standing your ground here, keeping those boundaries strong. So you have 999, that can be a sign of leadership here. It can also be a sign of completion here as well. So it does feel like, again, kind of like things being sort of wrapped up. I do want to see if there's anything in our way, what we need to know to overcome that. All right, actually, let's get one more tarot from the top. Oh, Seven of Swords. Okay. I'm glad I did this. I wasn't going to do this. I'm going to get 3 now. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Oh my goodness. More major arcana. You have the Temperance and you have High Priestess. So you have Temperance and High Priestess. Wow. And that's after that 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords, yeah, that could be running away. That could be deception in some way. Someone thinking they're getting away with something, right? But not when it comes to Libra. We're good at sniffing out, liars and scammers. We really are. We're good at that. We're good at reading people. There's something here about, keeping things honest, keep it real. If you're feeling like something's off, trust that feeling. Okay, you're going to want to stop and consider why you're doing something or why someone else is doing something. Again, keep that question at the forefront for this week, my friends. How is this benefiting me long term? Is it worth it? Is what I'm doing today in the short term worth my long term stability? Is it really, how is it going to help me or not help me? Is this a distraction? We're going to get rid of those distractions, right? So this is about with Temperance here, this is some sort of balancing things out, or maybe even seeing another way. There could be something you're not seeing here, or you might not be, I'm going to tell you, Libra, you might not be being honest with yourself about your abilities. about your way to see yourself through this difficult phase. High Priestess here. She is not afraid to, you know, close that curtain behind her and just kind of go within, just like that Hermit card. You know, they go within and they access that sacred knowledge. They lean in deeply to the mysteries of life. Why? So they have that deep understanding. Having that deep understanding and getting through all those psychic, emotional, spiritual blocks is what actually allows you to come back even stronger. Okay, so not being afraid to do the difficult work. Okay, that's what I have for that. All right, now let's go ahead, Libra, and see if there's anything else. Okay, so small dreams. Some of you need to dream bigger. You're not dreaming big enough. You're not giving yourself enough credit, okay? This is about, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you have small dreams, but is it what you truly want, right? Is it what you want? That's another question to ask yourself. Is this really what I want? You're capable of more than you realize. And then you have making a sacrifice. Okay, you had the Hangman too. So needing to make maybe a difficult choice here even, all right, about not everything. Okay, it says in the long run, the easier route is harder, but it makes it more difficult. You know, the long run, the easier route is harder because it makes it more difficult. It says make a sacrifice. Not everything needs to be hard, but it shouldn't all be easy either. So accept the challenge and show the world you will not be stopped. That is it with this whole reading. It feels like you will not be stopped, Libra. You're charging ahead. You're charging through whatever's been keeping you back. You know, it's like really diving deep, taking that deep dive into whatever it is that needs to be fixed, eliminated, resolved, overcome for once and for all, right? It's like the final moment here with that. All right. You're deciding this is it. This is it. This is it. Right? That's it. Done maybe with something, or that's it. Heading in a new direction. I'm going to just do it. I'm not even going to tell anybody. I'm just doing it. Okay. That's what this feels like to me. That's the energy I feel. That's why I get so animated. I feel the energy, right? Can't really tone that down. Why would I want to? Anyway, clarifying love situations. Oh, Libra. Confusion. So there's maybe some sort of needing certainty in order to trust. How about taking a day at a time and just enjoy the fun in things? There's that coming in. Memories here. Yeah, replaying past sweet memories. I said you're going to be revisiting something emotional, or someone will tempt you to do that. You decide if you want to do that or not, Libra. And we have, nobody talks about how hard it is to unlearn the toxic behaviors we've adapted. As a coping mechanism from the trauma and pain endured, you are not alone. I don't think I read that with the proper pauses. So nobody talks about how hard it is to unlearn all the toxic behaviors we've adapted as a coping mechanism from the trauma and pain endured. Yeah, it is very hard to get that devil off the shoulder, right? It's very hard to free yourselves, but you're not stuck. Again, it's like the final moment, like enough's enough, right? Enough's enough. Because guess what? Some of this hasn't been enough for you, Libra. You're worth way more. Okay, enough's enough, right? Put an end to it. And remember, you do not walk alone. Not unless you choose to. You know, are you fully ever alone? Not really. If you're listening to this channel, you are now not alone. All right? So there. Are you? No, you're not. We're together. Here I am. Okay? All right. Okay, what else do we have, please? Let's see. How do we stay high vibing? How do we stay high vibing? Oh, my goodness, Libra. Emotions. Can't make that up. Feel the feelings. Feel your emotions, be with them, honor them, process them, and then move on and enjoy your life. Obviously, work with professionals if needed. Okay, what else do we have, please? Oh, crystal cards. Let's do it. Crystal cards. For Libra for the week ahead, Shungite, detox. There it is again, detoxing your whole life. Something's got to go. Maybe it's you. Celestite, soothe your soul. There we are. Okay. Let me just look in here and see. I'm getting two names. I'm getting Maggie. I'm getting Maggie with Magnet. And I'm also getting, I was getting Gloria before this. Let me see here. What else do we have? Skyscraper. Okay, so there's that. And I'm getting sort of like a moment of silence, a moment of pause. They're showing me transformation, which is butterfly here. So that does go along with the reading. Okay, Libra, this is highly specific. You're going to be parking your car in a new spot, or there's going to be a new car in your spot. There's something here about your parking spot, even. I know, randomly specific, right? That's why you love me. All right, let's see what else we have. They're not random, though. I say randomly specific, being kind of funny about it, but they're very specific and not at all random. They're only random if they're not your messages, right? Then it's like, well, that was random. So getting the word chime. So you could chime in, there could be a bell chime. I'm seeing 111 on the clock here. So that is like manifestation. So you may be getting notified that a manifestation is coming through for you. That could be just like, I get kind of this like good news on the way. Okay, so now I'm seeing it again. I'm seeing it's it makes me think of, how do I phrase this? It's cobra. It's like a snake. It's like no, and not in a scary way, okay? It's sort of like, again, keeping things quiet and sly until you're ready to strike, right? Right? You're all curled up and coiled up. I'm just taking a nap in a basket, and then you're ready. So be ready for this opportunity when it comes your way, right? Be ready for this this big chance here. What else do we have, please? Galactic Angel message for Libra. The planets are aligning. The impossible will become possible, Libra. And a timeout's been called. Life could be on pause. It's so you can catch your breath, right? It's so that you get the adjustments that you need to realign. Okay. And what else? Soon we'll be lifting the veil. You'll see the light. Yeah. So that's all right. I mean, it just kind of piggybacks that message. All right. Now let's get an angel number for you. 6789, unconditional love. No matter the flaws, you give and receive love. And I'm actually getting the name Anyel, something like that. And then this card does not want to come up because of these nails. We have your spirit is ascending to a new vibration. Oh, and there's the 22. Okay. So allow time for what's aligning to your frequencies. All else is going to fade away. All else will fade away. You know, we have a sign of balance here. So you're turning your dreams into reality. Card 22. I was getting the twos. Now let's get an animal card. Fox, Divine Matrix, card 40. Third eye chakra. I'm hearing right now, too, no one's going to back you into a corner, Libra. You're clever. You're sly. You'll figure this out, okay? You are going to figure this out. And what do we have? We have don't believe everything you hear in your mind, right? Detach from fear and reconnect with your higher truth. Ask for guidance. Ask for divine guidance. That is what I have for you. Check out your other readings, including your July reading, your July money reading that I did on the 7/7 portal, as well as the upcoming reading on Tuesday. I post Tuesday, Thursday afternoons, Eastern time, as well as Sunday mornings. I'm wishing you all a fantastic week, and we'll see what this new moon, as well as some of the other energies have in store for us on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. You know how to show support. Thank you.